Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that. This is my first video ever for my YouTube channel, Energy in Motion. I'm gonna pause for the applause. Nah, real talk. This is gonna be nothing more than an introduction video. It's gonna be the first video that I make. So I'll just be telling you what energy, emotion stands for, what it is, what it means to me, where I got it from, and how it is applicable to even the smallest of being. So you know it includes you. Energy I got on after I went through a very dark time of my life. It was like depression for what felt like forever, but it was actually more or less just like a year to 2 years time that I was in like unconscious depression after losing my little brother, which was hard for me. And I know that people lose people all the time, but this was different because I was never afraid of anything. Like, I've always been fearless. I've traveled, I've lived, you know, for a very long time with no fears. You know, people were scared of like roaches or spiders. None of that. I'm not scared of nothing. So, but I did have one fear though. I did not like the idea of someone that I love, that means so much to me in their existence, dying. And I ain't talking about like, you know, like grandma, you know, old people die, you know. But like my sisters or my mom really was my biggest fear. I never really had any brothers, any biological brothers. So my biggest fear was always just my sister and them dying. I was like, oh yeah, I could not imagine. Like, I already know I couldn't take it. I didn't watch movies when people died. Like when Simba died on Lion King, just really fucked me up. It just fucked me up. I'm you know, thinking back right now, I might have to, you know, take a few seconds to. But yeah, so I only had one big fear, and it was death. And then I started teaching at a high school in Memphis, and I met this kid who actually just kind of fell into my life, and not just my life, but like my whole family's life. His name was Destin, so long live him. But we got extremely, extremely close, and then he died randomly in a car accident. And up until that point, you know, I had lived. I knew exactly. I was just out here, you know. I had started teaching. I had gotten a house. I had, you know, done all the things in my youth. I was at that point in life where the grown-ups say you got to get to. You know, you go to high school. When you go to high school, you graduate. You go to college, you graduate. You get out, you get a job, you get a house, you start a family. You know, that's what the boomers taught us, the happily ever after. I was there, and he died. And then everything went crashing down. Nothing made sense. You know, none of my I had always been, you know, Christian. I always went to church. I was very religious, to some capacity. Clean up until maybe like my senior year in college. Then I kind of strayed away from the church itself. But I always maintained connection with, you know, relationship with, you know, the Most High. So when that happened, it just did not make sense. It was like my greatest fear actually had made manifest. And at the time I didn't process it as that. It was just like, what I'm gonna do? And everything just went black. So for like 3 years or 2.5 years or whatever, it was like blackness. And then one day, January the 13th, I was in the shower. And over the 3-year process, I was so many places, but really I was just in my mind. My body was everywhere. I mean, everywhere, from here to Honduras and Belize, and I was all over the United States, and New York, and DC, and Atlanta, and New Orleans. You know, I was everywhere after he died, but I was really just in my mind. I was learning, you know, a lot. I had started going on YouTube binges, down rabbit holes. You know how I go. Just because I was needing things to occupy my mind during that time, and I've ran across Abraham Hicks. So when you see this, shout out to you, because you actually jumped in and helped me to ignite the fire that was within me, I guess, that I had always had but never been conscious of. And it was just with the law of attraction. that's what the videos were about, but it was more than that to me. It was just kind of like what she was saying was the truth, past something that I could read in a book, like, you know, Law of Attraction is researchable. But like, nah, what she's saying is the facts. Like, why isn't that the truth? So then I got into, like, you know, experimenting with manifestation, Law of Attraction, and I went out to LA. And so once I got out to LA, I was out, it was last year, 2019, January. I had been out there for a few months or whatever. I was working a little Rudy Poop job, really wasn't making no bread, but I was still healing, you know, from everything. Mind you, there was other traumatic stuff that happened in between the 3-year period after my little brother had died, and I was finding myself that helped me lose myself some more, but all very necessary for the unlearning process. So again, I'm telling you where I got the idea of energy from, just so you know, just to recapitulate. I'm not like rambling. So I got out to LA, and I was in the shower, actually. Before that day, earlier in January, or early in February, it was February the 3rd or so, I actually decided to like self-harm. On some ready to die, commit suicide type, you know, vibe. And it was random too, because again, I was on the Abraham Hicks journey and I was learning and everything, and just this one day, I could just remember waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, hearing my frat brother go out to go to work, and I'm just like, damn, bro, like I'm here, another day, this is not easier. And it just did not, like, it was just heavy. And I can remember going, grabbing the razor blade and cut three little cuts to see if I could do it. And I, like, you know, caught myself. Never before that moment had I ever done anything like that, ever. And even now, it wasn't even suicide. It was just like self-harm. Like I just wanted to hurt myself. I don't know, it was crazy. I didn't understand it, but, you know, I got in touch with my family. They, you know, spoke life back into me, breathed life back into me, just via phone, because I was far as hell from everybody out on like a spiritual fucking sabbatical. It's crazy. Sorry. In January, Destin's birthday came. And I guess I kind of jumped back in the timeline, but all time exists right now. Anyway, we'll talk about that on the channel. But in January, I got energy. I was sitting in the shower, and I was just sitting there, you know, meditating or whatever. I said February 3rd. Oh, fuck. I don't know. But I was sitting in the shower, and I was like meditating or whatever, and then like I was thinking about like all that I had learned, and you know, I love kids and all of that, and then it just kind of hit me like energy. It's all just energy, and then it's like energy, inner guidance. And then I like freaked. I was like, oh, you snap, it's for kids, you gotta do it for the kids, it's for kids, you teach kids about that, you know? And then I was like, what age group am I gonna start it at? I'm like, what age group? So I was like, I'm gonna make the age limit 14, you know what I'm saying? Like tomorrow's date. And I sat there and I was like, nah, tomorrow can't be the 14th though, because if tomorrow's the 14th, then today gotta be the 13th. If today's the 13th, then Destin just gave me this shit on like some higher dimensional shit. And I jumped out of the shower, wet as hell, grabbed my phone, looked on Facebook, like, yo, it's the 13th. And it said Destin's birthday. And I instantly, I got to crying, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy as hell. Cause it's like, it was in that moment that I understood everything. You know, I understood all of the energy that was in motion and where it was taking me and how to, you know, use it to keep myself going and to further myself and everything that I wanted. It was everything that Abraham Hicks had been talking about on the law of attraction level, but on a very soul level. Like I was attracting something that my soul had decided to call for before I even physically incarnated into this being. Because, you know, we're all just energy. And so I was like, damn, thanks, bro. Energy. And then from there, it just kind of rippled on. So energy is you, it's me, it's anything you can see. It is literally what it sounds like, energy, but it's INNERG, because yeah, we are it, but more than we are it, we contain it. And we contain it in a place where we can share it and receive it in a way that'll keep creation going. And I think the more people who become aware of this power, it literally is a superpower, because everything that we want or need or desire comes from the desire to be happy, feel love, feel safe. All of those things take place right from my heart space. And that's where the energy, inner guidance, inner God, inner gangster when it needs to be, because conflict is a necessary means to change. Always. Energy and motion. It's the now, you know. It surpasses affiliations and labels, races, skins, genders, sexes, orientations, anything that will keep people separate. It's like, you are this with energy. And the with energy